Are you ready for the Low Blows Network? Every Wednesday on the Low Blows Network, the Low Blows team are at hand to break down, analyze, and make fun of all things pro wrestling. Hosted by former pro wrestler Rick Nash. I think the only reasonable thing we can do now is turn John Cena heel.
Selfie with me fucking Doug.
Banned from Nigeria. I will be talking to the government tomorrow morning. YouTube star Corporate King.
This elephant has 4 legs. Joe Russell's 4 legs. Joseph Stalin, if he had 2 more legs.
Bonesaw rips off his shirt, yeah, and it says, "Chuck your law, big dirty tricorn."
And the Queen of Irish Wrestling, Katey Harvey.
I won't want to decide. Just CM Punk.
So embarrassed. CM Punk.
It's Low Blows. Get well soon to our colleague and also our friend, Katey Harvey, the Queen of Irish Wrestling, who usually joins us here on Low Blows. I was planning to all week, but as many of you will have seen on social media, and some of you may have been there as well, at OTT Contenders at the weekend, she unfortunately suffered a serious injury. She had a fall during her match and had to be taken to hospital. You've probably seen pictures, Jer Kearns doing up a quality meme of her being surrounded by Mick Foley and Yurple in the recovery room. She, for those of you who have only been casually following it and seen bits and don't know, she dislocated both of her elbows and broke one arm. So she's got 2 arms in a sling. She's barely mobile at the moment, but she is recovering at home. She's in great spirits. She's been really well supported. Like the Fight Factory contingent of OTT and Phil and all went to the hospital with her, kept her in good spirits. She's been texting us and keeping us updated, and she is having a laugh and she is kind of in good spirits. But she will be missing wrestling and also she'll be missing her day job for a while. So, which is very sad and very unfortunate as well. She's had I wouldn't be this nice if she was here, but she's had it'd be weird. But she's had like a rough time of injuries and whatnot over the past couple of years as well. She just returned to OTT at Defiant last year after suffering another serious injury, and she's had a lot of bad luck. So we wish her well, but she's badass and she's positive and she's surrounded by good people, so she's doing well. She will be back on the podcast. She it was one of the first things she said to us when she was able to kind of update us on her condition. And it wasn't as if we were pushing her or anything. She's like, guys, like, I'm going to be missing wrestling altogether for a while, so could I please still do the podcast? And it's like, yeah, your chair will be waiting for you when you get back here. So she will be back, hopefully shortly. She's going in for surgery next Monday, so probably won't be back next week either, but she will be back shortly and able to give us an update on her condition, and we'll be able to have a laugh and get back to normal. But as we get kicked off here, Rick Nash obviously in the house, Corporate Keen joining me. We're holding it down. Keen, obviously you've kind of had a love-hate relationship with Katey. You know, Queen versus Keen obviously is one of the staples on the show. But at the same time, you know, you're co-workers. I'd like to think you're friends. So, like, what do you have to say to your friend/rival at this time?
Yeah, like, on a serious note, I just want to say I can't believe she decided to break both her elbows on purpose just to avoid Queen versus Keen. For me, that's shocking. Like, that's and it's blatant as well. Everyone can see through it. So, I mean, it was a good attempt on her part, I suppose, but come on. I honestly think I should get a forfeit win every single week she's not here, in my opinion.
No, she's got 2 slings.
Yeah.
She wants to help out the show. She's asked us, can I do this, can I do that? And it's like, take the week off. No, that's not a thing. We will not be doing that. And to be honest, even if we did that, she'd still be like, alright, I'm calling in.
True.
So nothing nice to say. Nothing at all.
Well, I'm not sitting in her seat as a mark of respect.
It is
actually
very
true,
sad.
Which is, like, it's actually Rick, me, and then an empty seat beside me, which normally sits.
There's an empty seat, it's quite emotional.
I mean, I could just sit in the seat that's directly across me like a normal person would, but...
Yeah, I do have to tilt my head and for the entire show now.
Well,
but
it's a sign of respect, I'm sorry.
We have paid respect. There is. She's not dead, guys. She's fine. She's probably listening. Hi, Katey.
Well, her elbows are kind of dead.
Stop! She's suffering. She's in pain.
Her chances at winning Queen versus Cian, assuming that this forfeit win will come
that's
into effect
not a thing.
now,
There's
is
no
also
forfeit.
dead, but whatever.
There's no forfeit. She's still winning. She's kicking your ass. She's 7-5 ahead.
It's easy to do that when you win and then just don't show up. She's doing a Brock Lesnar on it. Literally.
That's what it's all about, guys. If you are looking to support Katey, because like we said, she is missing wrestling and her shoot job, and she's going in for surgery as well, so she does need all the support she needs. We announced during the week that we'll be using all of our raffles, all of the proceeds from our raffles at the Royal Rumble party on Sunday. And by the way, guys, that's the biggest raffle of the year. We've got the 2 Royal Rumble raffles, we've got the Pool Rumble, we've got Retro Gaming as well. All of them are based on the raffle. We're going to be giving all the proceeds to Katey's recovery, and also as well today, very cool move, Heel Turn Ireland, check them out on Twitter if you like, have released a t-shirt for Katey, where the proceeds from that go to Katey as well, so merch directly goes into her pocket as well. So support at this difficult time for her, and you get to wear her face on your chest, which as I saw on Corporate Keen's latest video this week, I think a lot of people will be into that. So hopefully she gets...
A lot of people would be into that, apparently.
There's a few DMs, probably about it somewhere. But anyway, guys, we're going to be previewing the Royal Rumble. We're going to be talking about the good and the bad from the weekend. We're going to be getting on. But now that we don't have Queen versus Cian, we can announce that we're going to have Cian still in a competition later on against possibly a bigger enemy than even Katie Harvey. So stay tuned for that, guys. Loads to come here on Low Blows. But first we're going to get kicked off with the news. This is awkward because we started this whole segment based on how good Harvey's hot take was going. So now we're going to do where we give our hot takes.
Yeah, it's like a shitter version of what you already had.
And just bastardize her old segment without her. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Hot Takes. Yes, it's time for our hot takes from the week. I'm going to get us kicked off with, and it's been kind of a slow news week. There's a lot going on, like the revival and Dolph Ziggler. Are they going to leave for AEW? Kind of over all that already. I don't know if anyone else is, but I am personally. The thing I want to talk about is the announcers for the Royal Rumble pay-per-view have been announced, and for the men's Royal Rumble, it's been announced that JBL and Jerry the King Lawler are going to be returning to commentary. Who does that seem like a good idea to? Who out there is nostalgic? Who's you know what this is missing? This is missing JBL. This is missing Jerry Lawler shouting, "Puppies!" No, we have lived through Me Too. WWE, you got away with it. We know there are fucking skeletons in your closet. Vince McMahon, you are not clean. I do not believe for a second you're clean, but you got away with it. Ric Flair, around Me Too, there was a documentary which made a joke about how he used to expose himself to unsuspecting women, and they got away with it. And yet, they continue to bring back the massive pervert Jerry Lawler and the absolute, locker room bully JBL, the two pinnacles of toxic masculinity they're bringing back for the Royal Rumble, and nobody is asking for it. Nobody is oh yeah, this is great. I think there's a time, there was a period where it was nice when WWE brought back JR for WrestleMania and stuff like that, and even the King, for a while we were oh yeah, great, you're still around, that's cool. After he had the heart attack and whatnot, there was a lot of sympathy for him and a lot of goodwill towards him. But I think they kind of got away with it, and I think they need to call it quits while they're ahead. I don't know, it's just me. I'm not looking forward to them being on commentary.
Yeah, but nobody listens to English commentary anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's all about that Mandarin. Mandarin commentary is where it's at, man. You wouldn't see Sean Deng, causing... No, he never came up in the Me Too conversation, and for a good reason. Because Sean Deng is a sound lad who doesn't do bad shit like that. Do you know what I mean? So, just to listen to the Mandarin like everyone else.
There you go, yeah. Be normal, yeah.
Can you actually put Mandarin commentary on in buskers?
I could.
Oh, do it, come on, please, I mean, God.
But the Royal Rumble is probably our biggest party of the year.
I mean, you can't even hear the commentary anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, when you're at a party, you're not really, do you know what I mean? You might as well just throw them in there. Little Easter egg for those of us who appreciate it.
I'll throw it on for maybe the pre-show or something like that. Maybe, we'll see. Anyway, that's my hot take for the week. Moving on.
Yeah, so what have you seen of Rip Rogers, Joey Ryan, and Jim Cornette on Twitter this week?
I've missed all of this. I've seen a lot before, but I've missed all of it.
Okay, so long story short, Rip Rogers put up a thing on Twitter about how like wrestlers wearing kick pads is dumb because like it's like you're going soft on your opponent or something like that. And it was really dumb logic, and everybody kind of just laughed it off, whatever. And Joey Ryan responded to Rip Rogers by saying, "Yeah, are you familiar with Rip Rogers?
Yeah. He's a legend, to be fair."
His whole thing on Twitter is, that he gives advice and says his part or whatever. And Joey Ryan didn't hold back.
Oh, God.
He was like, basically, you're a wrestler who was never over at any point ever in your career. Went all in on him. And Jim Cornette. Can you imagine Jim Cornette's reaction to this? Well, he wants Joey Ryan to be burned, basically, like alive, like full on killed and massacred. And I don't know, he probably wants Joey Ryan to die. And yeah, basically, Jim Cornette, then, my brain's really tired. Jim Cornette responded to Joey Ryan, and it was obviously negative. It was a bit like reading in between lines. Don't think he was a massive fan of Joey.
No.
And of course, this leaves us with another. It seems to happen every week where Jim Cornette will say something really angry, and people are like, fuck Jim Cornette, oh, who cares? He's old, he's irrelevant, he's this, he's that. Jim Cornette is the fucking king, right?
Okay.
Jim
Cornette. Okay, this is a hot take.
Oh, okay, Jim Cornette is the king, right? And I'll tell you why. Do I agree with most of the stuff Jim Cornette says? No, I don't. But he's the king because, right now you see a lot of shit where, like, wrestlers from back in the day turn out to be, like racist or sexist or, Me Too stuff and whatever. And Jim Cornette, he's done none of that. You know what I mean? Like, he's done nothing.
We know of.
But he's done nothing, super bad. He's just he has old school opinions on wrestling.
Yeah.
For me, it's like he's your dad if your dad was a wrestling fan. Like, if my dad was a wrestling fan, he'd fucking hate. He would hate. Like, we'd hate each other. Because he'd be, he's a proper Brexit type dad, you know what I mean?
Brexit dad.
He would be like, talk about how much he fucking hates flips and how much he hates everything new and whatever. Even does Jim Cornette even complain about flips? What was his thing? He hates something.
He hates everything.
He hates a lot of
everything
things.
About like
or the Young Bucks
and
Kenny and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So but the thing is, was your dad into wrestling?
No.
My dad wasn't into wrestling. I don't think most people's dads aren't into wrestling. We don't get those old school opinions of people who are still who are around now that would have been around back in the day. And I think it's cool that Jim Cornette is able to just go on Twitter and say, hey, this new shit that you kids are doing is shit. You need to do it the way we did it back in the 1940s. Do you know what I mean? Wrist locks and headlocks. That's where it's at. And do I agree with him? Again, no. But I just think it's really fucking cool that it's a different perspective. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I think people take him way too seriously and they get way too angry at him. There's no reason to get angry at him. He's just an old man expressing his opinion. I think it's fucking cool. And when he gets angry and when he gets, somehow he wants to kill someone or they've ruined the business and they're like maggots on the carcass of the industry. I think that's what he called Priscilla Kelly the other week. It's a laugh. Don't take it so seriously. Do you know what I mean?
He's cutting a promo.
What?
He's cutting a promo.
Exactly. I mean, people at the end of the day, you can't call him irrelevant. You're talking about him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's more relevant than a lot of people in wrestling.
Yeah.
So, I have a lot of respect for him.
He's Katie Hopkins, but for wrestling. Do you know what I mean?
He knows say he's that bad.
He knows what he's doing. He knows what, I remember talking to Justy, I think, on the Spanto about this before, and it's he knows, he loves when Joey Ryan or the Young Bucks do something, because he's I've got 30 minutes sorted. It's like us. We do say something stupid, and when we see something really shit, we're grand.
If Jim Cornette was ever booked in a match against Joey Ryan or, one of them, that'd sell out a stadium. Do you know what I mean? This lad is so, I know, I love Jim Cornette, just saying.
It is, no, it's a fair, and it is it's a boiling hot take, so, anyway, guys, that's our takes from the news. Not the same without Katie, though. No, you need the Harvey's hot take. You need the original.
It's just depressing.
It's like when you don't, when they're all out of bread in the shops. I don't know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, neither do I. What sort of
and you have to get the shit bread.
That's a weird analogy.
And it's like Tesco bread.
Speaking of weird analogies, did you see that video? This is so relevant. We're going. Well, we can kill time because Katie's not here for our thing, so we have to like fill this up, right? Have you seen the video of Dylan White and another boxer? Right, they're two boxers,
right? And
they're doing the face-to-face interview thing that boxers do. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
No.
Where they sit at a table like this.
Oh yeah,
someone in the middle asks them questions.
Yeah.
And it's just the interviewer goes to your man. So, how are you going to beat this man? And he just turns around. He's like, "Do you ever have those pills of laxative? Yeah." And then they go right through you. And then 20 minutes later, you go to the toilet and they go right through you. I'm going to go through this man. And the other lad looks at him like,
do you just need to shit?
No, it just sounds like, that's a bit of a weird analogy, but you know exactly what I meant. It's fucking great. Just throw it out there. I recommend any of you look it up if you can.
There you go. There's going to be a lot of that in this week's show, guys. We got to kill
get sidetracked. Fuck, we do that a lot when it's just us as well. Just get sidetracked.
She's the mammy. She's like the one who keeps it all together.
Exactly. Yeah, like the glue of the show. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
when it was like before Katey came in and after Jade left, and it was like that period where it was like just us, and we started talking about EWR and Irish football. Yeah. Like, this is going to be bad, lads. I actually recommend skipping the shit.
It's literally like, this is like when, like, you know, your ma's out of town for the weekend. She's getting a weekend away. And your dad's there and he's feeding you like pizza for breakfast. It's like, we're in charge away, lads. It'll be better soon. Kenny will be back, we promise. Anyway, look, we're going to talk about the good and the bad from the in-ring from the week. Starting with...
Say something stupid.
Say something stupid. In at number 5, in Katie's absence, I gave NXT UK a watch. And I'm not going to criticise it for this, but I was a bit disappointed at the start because I was like, oh man, they're coming over TakeOver and I know they did the tapings. It's going to be like Walter and Can't See What Happens will be done and stuff like that. It wasn't that. It was, do you know when NXT, like normal NXT has the first show after the tapings and it's just like the filler show with shit we taped at that. Now, credit to NXT. I know we've criticised or NXT UK. I know we've criticised regular NXT for being all filler the next week after TakeOver. When you're at your hottest and you're at your most interested as well at this point. But they did it well with NXT UK because they're like NXT TakeOver Blackpool Plus. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, you're kind of selling it as, oh, it's just a bit extra of that. Okay, I'm a bit more into it than just we're going to pretend this is a normal show, but it's clearly not. You know what I mean? Because we can't talk about what happened because it happened before it happened. You know, the commentary was taped before it happened.
I know where you're trying to go with that.
Yeah. You know
it's hard
I mean?
to express.
Yeah, but the one thing I wanted to pick out of it was they had a match between Ginny and Isla Dawn. And Isla Dawn, for some reason, was a sympathetic babyface who Ginny apparently attacked in the back. I'm coming in fresh to this, but then Isla Dawn comes out and she's got kind of, what is it, a vampire character kind of deal?
I think she's just an emo.
Yeah, or just kind of Phantom of the Opera type deal. I don't know what it was, but she comes out and she's like supposed to be this sympathetic babyface who's on fire and who like wants to get her revenge on Ginny who attacked her in the back. And then she comes out and like she does her entrance, like which is real like elegant, and she's in the ring. And she's like, aha. And first off, it's not a babyface entrance because like it's kind of like, it's not a million miles away from, say, the likes of Lacey Evans and stuff like that, where it's very choreographed and stuff. And it's like she has, and now stand here, and now do a twirl and move around here. And then it's like, all right, you seem like a heel, and you're not pissed off. And then Ginny comes out, and straight away you're like, I like her because she's charismatic. It's like, I don't know what the other person is, but then the commentator's like, look at Isla Dawn, look at her trying to get it back, and I'm like, I don't really feel it. I don't know why any of this is happening, but it was a bit weird. And Katie's not here, so we had to put something in for NXT UK. We have another slice of pizza there for your lunch. Go on. In at number 4, SmackDown Live. Just a little one, and I don't want to be too nitpicky here. Not every feud needs to be serious. In wrestling in general. Like, if you have a pay-per-view and you've Balor Lesnar and you have AJ against Bryan and you have 2 Royal Rumbles and you have Becky going for the title and you have Ronda against Sasha, which is a hot feud, you can let another feud be something else. This week, the Bar they're feuding with The Miz and Shane McMahon, which, you know, it is what it is. I don't want to rag it too much. I'll let them tell their full story before I kind of judge it. but I'm not that into it. But it was a bit of fun. Like, it was a bit of crack where it's like, oh, Miz is turning face. You know, he's kind of, is Miz going to turn on Shane? This kind of deal, like, or is he genuine? Or is he concussed? Is he still, like, injured or whatever? I don't know which angle they're going for. And then at the end of the match, they had the Bar attack both of them and put both of them through a table, like, really dramatically. It's like, oh my God, what's going to happen this week? And I'm like, I didn't take this feud seriously enough to care about, like, what happens or if they win or anything like that. This was the bit of fun. This was the popcorn feud. You don't need to make everything like, oh my God, people will die. Whoever loses this wrestling match is probably gonna fucking die. You don't need to make everything high stakes and like, he's gonna murder his family. Like, it doesn't have to be up to 10. This was fine just being a 6. And then it's like, when shit like that happens, just like, all it does is punctuate to me how I don't care about it. Because I'm like, you're really trying to sell me hard. You know what I mean? It's like, if someone's trying to sell you a pen, again, another bad analogy. Katey, come back and save us. Someone's trying to sell you a pen, and it's like, no, like, I'm not really into a pen. And they're like, all right, fair enough. I'm like, show me the pen again. You know what I mean? But if someone's like, you need this pen. You need this pen in your life. It's like, you're pushing me too hard, lads. And I just felt that they hard sold me too much on that feud.
That is a weird analogy, because I'm like, I actually want to know more about that second pen, because I'm like, whoa, that seems pretty interesting if I need it. I'm just saying. Plus, it's for the biggest titles in tag team wrestling right now, do you know what I mean? So it's like, they should be taking it seriously.
Yeah, I don't know.
What are you doing? You've ruined the show.
it just underpin. No, it just, for me, at the end of it, I'm like, yeah, I don't care. They tried really hard, and I don't care. You know what I mean? That's where I left, but maybe I'm wrong there. Anyway, in at number 3, one dramatic one from ICW.
Yeah, it's a bit dead. So I went back, and I've always kept, like, I'll always will be kind of like keeping up with ICW, and because it was kind of it's the promotion that when I was first introduced to it, it was so different, because now you got all these different cool promotions out there. It's not, being cool isn't really a unique trait anymore. But at this stage, I hadn't seen anything like it. Do you know what I mean? In like modern wrestling, where, you know, it was 18s, everyone's having a laugh. It's cool. It's different. And it introduced me to wrestling elsewhere. Then once I discovered it, and I kind of But I watched about 3 weeks of it there in the space of one, because I do Fight Club tapings, which is a problem in itself, in my own opinion. But I'll get to that in a sec.
Right.
And it's just dead. The magic is so fucking gone. Like, when I used to watch ICW back in like 2016, genuinely it felt fucking special. It was like, and if you like ask any ICW fans at the time, or if you ask even wrestlers that were like Scottish wrestlers that would have been regulars at the time, they'd be saying things like, you know, oh, there's a genuine like the possibility like it could be the number 2 promotion in the world, do you know what I mean? Like, just behind WWE. And it's like, oh shit, you know, this could be like the top alternative or something like that, do you know what I mean? And like, the wrestlers, you know, they were never like the best in the world necessarily, but it was like they sort of, emphasized their strengths, and it, like, in their own unique way, they end up making some fucking class shows. And I watched it just there over the last couple of weeks, and it's just so dead. I can't even put my finger on exactly what it is. There are positives, like, for example, like Lionheart as champion, and I still like the Filthy Generation. Leighton Buzzard is cool.
Are the crowds kind of dipping off? Are they not as enthusiastic? Or is it just, do you feel that there's not that effort and passion put into it? Or
I'm going to mention the ICW Fight Club taping system, the thing they do.
Right.
But they've always done this, though, so to bring it up now is a bit late. But I will say this, because Progress, obviously, they are part of the WWE thing as well, which, that alone can kind of kill the magic a little bit, do you know what I mean? But it doesn't necessarily have to ruin the whole show. You can see, like, I didn't watch it, but I read a lot of Progress, like the unboxing show, and I want to go back and watch it. Like, I want to keep up with Progress, because it looks like it's still a good show.
Yeah.
And the reason for it, I think, is because every show is different. Every show has its own name, its own sort of identity. And if you ever think of a good match, you can go, oh, that was the match from Chapter 71 in Manchester or some shit. You know what I mean? ICW don't do that. They do the WWE system, where it's like, and they've always done it, in fairness, even when it was good, but I don't like the system of how they do it. It's basically, instead of having one show a month and trying to make that show the best show ever, like the way literally every other promotion does, where it's OTT, Progress, whoever, they'll put on one big show in the month, and that's the big thing. They'll do it. They've got 4 big shows a year, which is kind of like WWE's Big 4.
Yeah.
and everything outside that is a Fight Club taping. Even though they're not on TV, it's a taping. So they put out. The idea is they've got new content to put out every single week. But why are you giving me an hour every single week when you can just give me the full show at once and give me some class matches in there?
Yeah.
But they don't give like stars. Like they don't give main event like. The main event of Fight Club shows are like main events of Raw.
Yeah.
They're not like pay-per-view main events.
Like random thrown together tag matches and stuff like that.
That would be a bit harsh, but I think a better example would be, for example, Lionheart versus, what's the Japanese lad's name? Oh my god. Shigehiro?
Go Shizaki?
No. He's one of those lads that like would come to OTT at Contenders, and I don't know who he is, but I pretend I love him to bits because he's a legend. Like he'll come out and be like, Japanese legend, and I'm like, yeah, and I like bow down to him.
Tanaka?
No, it's not Tanaka. I actually didn't know who Tanaka was, but you know, like the sort of lads who see it like Strathmania.
Right, I get you. Yeah.
But he's against him. It's like they do a lot of title matches where you know the title's not going to change hands.
Yeah, I guess.
And it's like a showcase or an exhibition match or whatever.
Yeah.
But like what I don't know what's missing. There is one thing missing actually. Chris Renfrew. Did you hear about this?
I read bits, but I don't know the full story.
So the full story isn't like. It was never made public why, but he's no longer working with ICW.
Yeah.
And they probably have their own reasons for it. You know what I mean? Like they wouldn't just do that for no reason. But it has killed it a lot because even when I watched ICW, and it's been like this for like about a year now or so. Do you know what I mean? Like where it's been a bit dead, but I've been able to like look at the positives. And whenever Chris Renfrew's on screen, and I know a lot of people don't like Chris Renfrew, but for me, he made ICW what it was. I knew when I was watching Chris Renfrew on my screen, this was ICW, this is the mad shit, someone's gonna fucking die, he's gonna, you know, I don't know, like rip in someone either verbally or physically, and it's gonna be amazing. Do you know what I mean? It'll be entertaining, it'll be a laugh. And with him gone, it's like that's the biggest part of ICW's identity.
Yeah.
Stripped away, and it's just like, I'm not really feeling it. I'm not feeling a lot of what they're doing. It's just not doing it for me. I don't know.
It'd be like, say, if you took the likes of Jordan and Session Matt out of OTT, it'd be like, oh, there's kind of a part of your heart is gone. Like,
it's like if Jordan and Seshmat were taken out of OTT and not replaced with anyone.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? And it's like they have new lads coming up, but none of them. I'm not saying they're bad, but it's like they're just not that entertaining. Except for Leighton Buzzard, he is unreal. And I stand by him 100%. But it's like when I watch it, it feels like a company that's kind of. I'm not the sort of person who says, you know, like, oh, this company's dying or this is going to die tomorrow, but it does feel like that. Do you know what I mean? When I'm watching it, I'm like, this.
They've had their day.
Yeah, I'd love to see them come back, and I'd love to see them, you know, restore where they were and come back, and I just don't see it happening. It just doesn't feel like it. Do you know what I mean?
Interesting. Yeah.
I'll keep you updated though. I mean, they've got, and this is the thing, this is the saving grace of any wrestling company. You could be the most dog shit wrestling company on the planet. If you have a Royal Rumble, I'll watch it. I don't give a shit who you are. And it's nearly February. Square Go is coming in, and that is their Royal Rumble. Right. So I'll absolutely watch that and I'll let you know how it goes.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, keep us updated on that. Fingers crossed. We don't want to see it die. In at number 2, it was supposed to be number 1, but we have a bit of a surprise to even Cobra Keen for number 1. I'm going to talk about Raw first, though. And this is just WWE are like, and this is a shame because it used to be something they were quite good at back in the Attitude Era days. Before this was a thing, WWE kind of made it a thing. There's shit of being meta now. Because I think it's just like the product is so kind of disconnected in some respects from the real world. You know, you can just feel that gap between like what they think is good and what we think is good. You know what I mean? Like in the way that, you know, you watch New Japan or you watch, say, Impact for you or Lucha Underground. It's like, yeah, this is me. And I don't think they're cool enough to be meta and self-referential. So what I mean by this is the Revival, obviously, a lot of you will have heard during the week, apparently asked for their release from WWE. They're still under contract. So the big question was, they're going to get buried now, probably. So I think Vince, knowing this, came out and was like, no, I'm going to do a segment with them backstage. They did a segment where they're like begging for a title match, and eventually Vince gives it to them, and Kurt Hawkins, for some reason, is standing in the corridor, and he's like, you're going to be the special referee. And I'm like, okay, fair enough, whatever. So anyway, yeah, and then like during the Revival match, this is where they tried to be meta. And Corey Graves can be good at this sometimes, but you can tell they were being fed lines on commentary. So it's like, look, they bitched and they cried and they moaned and they, like, you know what I mean? It's just like they're having digs at the lads while they're in the ring, and then they're like, I guess they got what they were looking for, and it was just real pointed digs, and it's like, I like the Revival. I'm on their side. You're just coming across as dicks, lads. Not like the commentators themselves. They're getting fed lines, but it's the whole match. They're just taking shots at them. And then, of course, Bobby Roode and Chad Gable retains the Raw Tag Team titles. Another little thing about them as well, by the way. Do you know the way they're coming out and doing the dual entrance now? Like Chad Gable does Bobby Roode's entrance, and he's got like a robe and all.
I didn't know that, but go on.
Yeah, like they literally just do the same entrance. But like this is something I noticed as well, and it's probably been going on since the start. But I paid that little attention to them. On Gable's robe, I noticed that it said Gable at the back, and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And then on Bobby Roode's robe, it says glorious, not rude. It's like, what? It looks like sync the fuck up. If you're going to sync up and get a robe made, I can't imagine they're cheap either. They are not cheap. Like, if you're going to get it done, then sync up. Either get Rude and Gable, or get Glorious and Glorious. You know what I mean? Pick one, don't pick the other. It just looks like Gable wanted to get, like, the robe, and Rude's like, yeah, but mine says Glorious. He's like, would your mine say Glorious? No, that's my thing. And it's just like, oh, you're so shit. It just doesn't work. And it makes no sense when you have like a really good tag team like the Revival, who are getting over because they're just constantly on Raw and constantly good. They are slowly but surely getting over. Why not just throw the belts on them? Why are you like holding on to this Rude and Gable thing? Like, I don't care if you want to continue them tagging up, but they don't have to be on the show every week. They don't have to be the focal point of the tag division. I don't see any reason. But anyway, they ended up winning. Presumably that was the punishment. Afterwards, the Revival then attacked special guest referee Kerr Hawkins, because the finish of the match was they went like their Rude or Gable were going for a sunset flip, and then Dasher Dawson held on to the other at the ropes, and then Hawkins came along, split them up, they rolled them up, 1, 2, 3, that was the pin. So they attacked Hawkins afterwards, and then I don't know why WWE thought this is the thing we need to do at this stage. Zack Ryder runs down and makes his big comeback and then chases them off. So now the Revival are feuding with Ryder and Hawkins, which nobody wants to see. Nobody gives a shit about. Also, commentary kind of shit on Zack Ryder a bit without meaning to. Because when Mae Young comes around and she's like, Zack Ryder stays ready for moments like this. Really? He hasn't been on TV for 6 months. So you're explaining his absence, that he comes to Raw every single week for 6 months, gets into his full gear, like oils up, all that shit, just in case there's like some hijinks with the ref and he needs to run in. I'm like, no lads. Every part of this was shit and made no sense. And it was made worse because, like, I can deal with Raw being shit. It's 3 hours. There's going to be down points during the show. But, like, WWE were trying here. They were trying to be, like, wink and nod at the camera, and they can't even fucking get that right anymore. Anyway, that's number 2. In at number 1, it's OTT. It's from Contenders. But it's not what you're about to speak about.
Oh, what?
But make your point anyway.
Terry Thatcher got fucked over. Bad.
Okay, explain this to me. I wasn't there.
Alright, so when David Starr vs. Terry Thatcher was announced, I was 100% behind Terry, but I thought that Starr was just going to beat him and move on. You know, like take what Terry got to give him and just get through him and move on. No, Terry was going to beat him. And he went for his finisher, and Foxy stopped him for no good reason, in all honesty. And it cost him the match. And it was bullshit. And Terry's come out on Twitter and said, you know, Foxy's not to blame. You know, he should have finished the match earlier, or, you know, got the job done. For me, I'm just... It just hurts, because I'd love to have seen Terry Thatcher beat David Starr. Hopefully we get that rematch, because Terry is one of the best in the country.
Terry and Foxy at odds. That's like, you know, that's an interesting one. Obviously, you know, they're quite close. They came into wrestling together. They know each other since childhood as well. So it's an I'd be into that personally. If they went somewhere with that, I'd be open to it. That's not what we're talking about as the worst thing from the week from Contenders. Because the worst thing in the week in wrestling, it's been my, not only my, because I'm friends with her on Facebook and Instagram as well, like, it's been like my social media as soon as it happened. The worst thing from the week is obviously Katey.
Obviously, okay. Alright, Cian, calm down.
It's obviously Katey getting hurt. That's the worst part of the week. And I mean that in a good way. You're changing what I'm saying to mean something else, but that's not what I meant.
Isn't it mad that I'm not the one putting Katey and say something stupid?
I'm not, like, no, because Katey's actually left us a voicey. So now we're going to introduce you to the Queen of Irish Wrestling to give us an update, and she's gonna tell you pretty much what happened as well.
Hi guys, it's Katey here. I just want to give you a little update about why I won't be on the show this week or for the next few weeks. The guys have probably mentioned it, but I had a little bit of a boo-boo on Sunday at Contenders. I broke both my elbows. So yeah, I will probably have surgery on Monday, a couple of weeks off to recover, and then I will be back on the show. But the most important thing is, Cian, you are not going to get out of Cian versus Queen. In sympathy with me, next week I want you to eat a whole box of Pringles with your hands tied behind your back. Because I've gone 2 days now without being able to use my hands, and it's quite funny for people to watch. So Rick, if you could please record this, send it on to me, and let me know how many Pringles he gets through. Bye.
The gauntlet has been laid down. Next week, she challenged you. She wants you to eat a whole box of Pringles without you using your hands, because she can't use her hands for everything.
Do you know how easy that is? That's very easy.
You're not allowed to, like, open it. You're not, like, you have to figure out how to open it.
Yeah.
Without your hands.
Yeah, I can do that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, you're confident.
Yeah.
Right, next week we are going to do Queen versus Cian. We're going to do it throughout the whole show. Cian has to eat a box of Pringles without his hands, and I'll give you a point if you get through the whole box.
Oh shit!
There you go. So the stakes are real. Thanks for the message, Katey. Get well soon, of course. Worst thing for the week as well, obviously, but not in a bad way. Like, it's just, I feel like
I'm actually really looking forward to that Pringles. That actually sounds fun as fuck. Even if it turns out to be an absolute disaster, like, it's just, if they spill on the floor, I will cry on air.
If you spill on the floor, you lose.
Yeah, but I'll cry on air, is what I'm saying.
Alright, fair enough.
Hang on, surely that's bollocks. If they spill on the floor and I go down and eat them, I still ate them, so, without my hands.
Okay,
so,
yeah, you have
I mean, I'm not going to do that, but I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking.
There's like people who walk around. Please don't do that.
I'm not actually going to do that, but hypothetically speaking, I could still win if I really wanted to.
Alright, there you go.
I do really want to, actually.
There you go. Get well soon, Katey, and we will keep you entertained anyway. We're going to get some videos of that next week and see how Cian gets on. Anyway, that's the bad from the week. Let's talk about the good now, because it's time for Best of the Week. In at number 5, talk to me about what's going on in Impact.
So, as it says here on the doc, Tessa Blanchard giving a shit. I don't remember what this was. But it must have been pretty good, because I said it was good. Genuinely, I'm trying to remember. I was like, what did she do? Like, sure, she did something. She definitely did something good. She definitely gave a shit.
This sounds like
as I wrote.
This sounds like something you got really passionate about. You know what? She gives a shit, man. She gives a shit.
No, I remember what it was. I think I remember what it was. Was this what it was? Yeah, she got
I don't know. I didn't watch it.
Alright, so she got fucked out of her title by Gail Kim. Gail Kim was special ref.
Okay.
And an incompetent one, if you ask me. Completely fucked over the best champion that Impact have had in a while.
Right.
And, yeah, so this week on Impact... Oh, yeah, it's all come back to me now. It's all come back to me, don't worry. There was a backstage interview. The interviewer was asking Tessa... Let me try that again. The interviewer was asking Tessa the, like, kind of, usual questions. Oh, you lost your title. How do you feel? And all that shit. Tessa was angry, to say she was very angry, and decided to attack a lot of people backstage, and she was screaming, and she was fucking, like, genuinely losing her shit. But it was actually really cool, because it was like, a lot of times you'll see a wrestler get fucked over like that, and it's in what is meant to be like the biggest thing. Like, the title is meant to be seriously important, and you'll see wrestlers on Raw or whatever coming out and being like, you fucked me over there, I got screwed, I'll get it back. And it's like, she was actually genuinely losing her shit. So yeah,
nice.
At least I think that's what it was.
That happened 6 weeks ago.
I really should have elaborated. That's because the thing is, when the shows that I watch as well, not OTT, because that was 2 days ago, but like Impact, 205 Live, they're all like, that's like, as in like tomorrow or like in 2 days. So by the time the show comes around, I'm like, the fuck happened again?
This is why I leave fucking detailed notes, because like I do forget everything as soon as it happens. In at number 4, do you remember what happened on NXT?
Right, this didn't happen on NXT. I didn't even watch NXT. I'm not watching till Takeover because I'm so far behind. I'll catch up.
Yeah.
A team got signed, and this is gonna. I don't know if you're gonna remember these, because it's a very, very specific match. They only appeared once in NXT ever. it was Access, right? WrestleMania Access about 2 or 3 years ago,
right,
against the Revival. It was a squash match. I don't even know if they were given names. They're called 3.0, I think, on the Indies, but I don't know if they're going to be called that in NXT, whatever. And in the match, the Revival were beating the shit out of him. They were beating the shit out of one of them because he's in the ring, and the partner that was on the apron just started going, "Defense! Defense!" Do you remember this? Oh my god, it was so funny. Please try and find it. And he started and this crowd was dead, right? It was WrestleMania weekend, so they're all really tired, and this is like the least important match they're going to see all weekend.
Yeah.
And the crowd, and these are jobbers, they're not meant to even be known. The crowd started losing their shit. Scott Dawson went up to say, like, "Do you want to come in? Do you want to come in?" And the partner looked at him and went, "I'm respecting the rules!" And everyone just shot themselves laughing. And then finally, the partner that was chatting defense got tagged in. Scott Dawson beat the absolute shit out of him. And as he's getting the shit kicked out of him, the whole crowd, as loud as it's been the entire night, just started going, "Defense! Defense!" And it was the funniest shit. I'm going to link it. I will find it because I saw a clip of it recently.
Yeah.
And it was the fact that, like, these lads won me over in one match.
Nice.
Not even a promo, just one match.
Yeah.
A squash match that they were on the losing end of, and they won me over straight away. So I am so glad that they're signed by NXT now, because normally I get a bit upset when a wrestler gets signed by NXT, because I'm like, we don't get to see them in OCT, we don't get to see them, on the indies or wherever. But they weren't on the indies. They were on the Canadian indie circuit, I think, and they were never over here. So fuck it, like, I'm happy for them.
Nice, interesting. I'll definitely keep an eye out for that. In at number 3, one from Raw, and like, this is just more than this being great, although it was fun to watch. It's more just like what I'm anticipating. I think Balor's winning on Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm like, now, let's be real here. I wanted to see him win last week, and I got carried away willfully with the hyperbole and everything that were coming in. But then when, like, I thought about it, I'm like, he is probably going to lose, like, ultimately. Like, no, I did, like, as the week wore on before Raw, I was like, he probably is going to lose, but, like, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to tell myself he's going to win, and I'm going to get into it just to, like, enjoy the match the most I can. And then on Raw, they actually sold me on him winning it, like, because the way they booked it was brilliant, where it was just like, again, it was similar to how they set up this last week, where it was like, Paul Heyman came out and he, like, kind of put Balor over, and he's like, "You won't be held down, you won't do this." And then Vince comes out and he's like, "You know, Paul, I see what you're doing there. You're being kind of the old-time promoter, but, like, really, Finn's not going to win. He's not going to beat Brock Lesnar. There's nothing he can do to stop it." Like, it's one of these where it really shits on him if he doesn't win. And that's why I think he actually has a great chance. Because then Balor comes out and he's like, "Vince, I want to tell you a story about David and Goliath." I like Balor doing promos because, like, he's getting really confident now on the mic, and he's kind of saying fuck it. Do you know what I mean? Like, the way he is on social media, he's kind of being on the mic now. It's not forced and a bit scripted like he was in the early days when he's still getting used to the WWE system. And when he's on the mic, he talks a bit like a fucking plumber. Do you know what I mean? He's like, "See you, Vince, right? Shut up." It's gosh great. And he starts telling the story of David and Goliath, and he starts, like, building himself up where he can win. So then they set him up against Braun Strowman. And then they have him, and then, like, Brock is at ringside. And then they basically just had, like, Balor fan wish fulfillment, like, where Balor is beating the shit out of both Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar. And you're like, and then, like, my internal logic is trying to figure out, is he going to win, though? Can I let myself think this, or am I just setting myself up for a disappointment? And then, like, I'm like, he's probably going to beat Strowman here, which means, like, they have to have him beat Strowman. They can't have Strowman beat him anyway here. Like, there has to be something. But he probably will beat Strowman here. But that means he's probably not going to win at the pay-per-view because they've over-egged it, you know what I mean? But then the match ended with him not beating Strowman, but with him, like, you know, coming back and getting ready, and he's getting set up to hit the coup de grace. Then Brock grabs him, hits the F5. So Brock stands tall at the end of Raw. And we know what that... Well, not the end. It was the first segment, but you know what I mean? The end of that feud. And we know what that means. If you win on Raw, you lose on the pay-per-view a lot with WWE. So I'm just saying, it's genuinely in play. And this isn't just us being biased and like speaking from the heart.
He says with his Balor hoodie on that zips all the way up to his forehead.
I literally have a Balor hoodie on as we speak. But this isn't just, no, this is me being cynical and me trying to be realistic as well. I'm not saying he's going to win. We're going to do our picks in a bit. But I'm way further along than I was. Like, I'm willing to believe and I'm willing to actually buy into it, not just from a place of wanting it, from a place of thinking it. Like, and it's really exciting. It's going to be fucking class. I cannot wait. In at number 2, talk to me about the good from OTT contenders.
Yeah, I think for me, the standout over everything is Scotty Davis. I mean, I'm stating the obvious, but he's fucking class. Like, I mean, when you saw Scotty versus Speedball, when you saw like that the match was announced, you knew what was coming. Yeah, and it happened, and it was fucking class. I lived up to expectations 100%. Like, I'm fucking like Scotty Davis is the next big thing in Irish wrestling, and it's deadly. I love it. Yeah,
The On Demand went up there. It went up, I think, yesterday, Tuesday, or maybe today. Anyway, it went up earlier than it usually does. I want to watch it this week. I love contenders. I love keeping an eye on, especially we're Fight Factory and all, like watching the younger lads as well. What else should I keep an eye out for? Like, if I have to go through the show, you don't have to go through like what I shouldn't watch, but what should I watch? Like, because a lot of the time I do have to skip through shows just because there's so much wrestling on.
Well, I enjoyed essentially all of it. Well, not the Katie Harvey part, actually. That was really bad. But I enjoyed. Let me see, what's the main event again? Devlin and A-Kid. Again, it's what you expect. There was a cool thing that happened after the match. I won't spoil it. It was really well done, though. There was... What was the match just after intermission? Oh, was that it? I'm getting mixed up in my own head. Sorry. More Than Hype against Lads from the Flats and Martina. I really enjoyed that as well.
Nice.
Phil Nelson made his debut, which was unexpected.
Phil Nelson.
I'm not going to elaborate. Just watch it. Like,
okay. Irish?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was part of the what's it called? Open Canvas.
Right.
Which I'm a big fan of. I love that whole thing with Conor Andrews and all. What else? What was the start of the show again?
I don't know.
My brain is so tired.
Was it Scotty Speedball?
No, that was second last. It'll come back to me. Fuck it.
He's just going to shout out in the middle.
Yeah,
right.
Literally.
There you go. Check it out. It's on OTTOnDemand.com now. In at number 1, I want to talk about something that could have easily been number 1 and say something stupid. And probably should have been by right. But I was way into it. Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles.
It was Curtis and Steve Carvel versus Steve Tropicana. That's what opened the show.
I knew you'd do that.
Trying to get that in my head.
I knew you'd do that. AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan. Their feud has got weird, but in the best way. So, like, they're just still doing the new Daniel Bryan thing, and he's, like, talking about the environment, and he's, like, last week he did a cool thing. It just wasn't the best thing on SmackDown, but he did a cool thing where he was kind of backstage and he was going through the merch stands and he was going through like the concessions and stuff like that, and he's like, you're fattening yourselves up and then you're consuming and then you're doing this. Do you know how much you're killing the environment? You're sick people, this, that, the other. AJ then did one where he's like, these are my people, let them do what they want, we're giggity. That's right, AJ. But then this week they did an in-ring promo with Vince McMahon where Daniel Bryan starts talking about, again, the environment and how, like, people, like, and then has a go at Vince McMahon in the middle of it. He's like, little do you realize that your generation, the baby boomers, ruins the world for the rest of us. You people, and especially the likes of you, Vince McMahon, you came out and ruined the world because all you care about is making money. You don't care about how you make it. You don't care about the damage it does to the planet. You don't care because you get to wear nice suits and this and that and the other. And then, AJ is in the ring and like he's like pretty much, yeah, I'm doing it for America. But what made it really interesting and fascinating, and again, also the reason why it could have been and say something stupid, is essentially what you're watching is Vince McMahon and AJ Styles very openly Trump supporters, and they're espousing their normal beliefs. AJ's not as extreme as it goes because his normal beliefs are very in line with Trump from what we've seen, particularly on immigration. But we know they're Trump supporters. We know they believe this kind of America, yeah, the environment, climate change is a lot of crap. Whereas Daniel Bryan is doing what the best heels do and just speaking the truth as he believes it. But AJ and Vince are portrayed as the heroes in this. They're the good guys, and they're like, shut up that like crazy do-gooder trying to tell us stuff. Stop trying to teach us stuff, nerd. It's really compelling to watch because it's like watching fucking Bruno or Borat, where it's like satire on America, and it's this guy speaking pure common sense. It's like, you are all killing the world with your behavior, and everyone going, boo, fuck you. Fuck you, asshole. Stop telling us facts. Just trying to teach us shit, you prick. And it's really working. And it's just like, this is like watching through my hands, but also can't stop watching. It's fucking fascinating. Daniel Bryan is amazing throughout this. Like, Vince had to cut him off because he could go for days. It was like the CM Punk pipe bomb. Do you know the way you feel with the end of that where they cut off the mic? Where you're like, he could go for 10 more minutes. Like, he's got content coming out of his ass. That's how loose Daniel Bryan is being, where he's just going for it, like. And Vince is like, all right, get in the damn ring, and cutting him off because, like, he's like, we have to stop this some point because you're going to keep going. But it's fascinating. And then AJ, who we know is a racist, is like, yeah, go get him, AJ, go get him. And it's like, America's fucked up, man. But much like Donald Trump, can't look away. So, entertaining television, worrying implications for the future of mankind. Anyway, guys, we don't have to worry too much about the future. All we have to worry about is this Sunday and the Royal Rumble, because, ladies and gentlemen, we are just 5 days away. 5 fucking days this crept up from this. It's the Low Blows equivalent of the Catalina wine mixer.
The fucking Catalina wine mixer.
The fucking Royal Rumble party. Join us in Buskers on the Ball for the craziest night of the wrestling calendar and experience not 1, but 2 Royal Rumble matches in an unbelievable atmosphere. Party starts from 6 p.m. with pre-show entertainment including NXT Phoenix in full, the return of WWE karaoke, the 2nd annual Pool Rumble, retro gaming, and much more. No Temple Bar prices on booze and food served until late. Don't waste your one Royal Rumble a year sitting at home alone. Get tickets now on eventbrite.ie. In groups of 2 or over, get a table automatically booked pending availability. Low Blows. For 7 years, redefining fandom. Guys, do not waste your Balor and Becky moments. This is the potential. Like, I'm so excited for Sunday. Genuinely, I haven't been this excited for a Low Blows night since maybe the SummerSlam Balor was. Like, no, Mania 33, our first night in Buskers, because, like, it was, you know, there was so much shit going on in the background behind it. But, like, in terms of the cards, maybe SummerSlam or Balor fought for the Universal title because it's like, oh my god, what if he wins? And he did. I haven't been as excited in, like, years, basically, is what I'm saying. Because this is going to be... Like, guys, do not overthink this. Don't waste this night sitting at home, like, watching it by yourself and being like, yay, on Twitter afterward. Like, seriously, like, this is going to be class. Like, it's right there. Balor is fighting Brock Lesnar. And as you spoke about, there's a realistic chance he's going to beat Brock Lesnar. Finn fucking Balor could be the guy to beat Brock Lesnar for the belt. Heading into WrestleMania season, like, Becky is fighting Asuka for the women's title, but she's also a factor in the Women's Royal Rumble as well. We don't know how that's going to work. We're going to discuss all that. So at the end of the night, like I said last week, we could realistically have a Balor and Becky situation like Benoit and Guerrero at WrestleMania 20. And Becky's even amplifying this. Do you see her tweet during the week where she's like, "Here, Finn, what if we beat a couple of dopes and win a couple of belts for old time's sake?"
Oh my god.
I'm like, yeah, they're even fucking talking about it. Like, this is... And you get to be in a packed bar of Irish people, of Irish wrestling fans, watching all this happen. Do not overthink it. Buskers in the Ball this Sunday, It's going to be fucking amazing. It's going to be one of those nights. I always say Lolo's nights are at their best when something great is happening and you're like, I'm so glad that I'm around people for this. You know what I mean? I'm so glad that I'm in this atmosphere for this. That, like, we do all the bells and whistle, and it is good crack, and a lot of people come for that, especially in the weaker WWE pay-per-views. But, like, this is when it's at its best. And that's before fucking 2 Royal Rumble matches. 2 Royal Rumbles. And that's why this is our most popular night, because the Royal Rumble match. But we're not even talking about that as one of the main things. AJ Bryan as well. It's fucking class, lads. It's going to be a great night. We start from 6 o'clock with NXT Phoenix. That's going to air in full. Then we pre-show entertainment to take you up to the pre-show. So what we have is now, announcement time. We're scrapping the karaoke for this year. Reason being, we had Katey involved in it. She was a big part of it, so it'd feel weird as well, like, just putting... So it was keen...
This is more bullshit. I mean, like, I was 100% ready to just be like, no selling the fact that she's not there, being like, yeah, that was great. Katey, what's your comments? And then her not commenting, being like, oh, guess I'm the better judge. 1-0 to me. But, okay, we're going to cancel it. Again, that's a conspiracy against me on this podcast. Swear to God.
We're not going to do the karaoke, but also we have so much else on that I don't think it's going to be missed. We're going to have Justy there. Justy wants to do a Katey-thon. Right, so what we're doing is, as we announced at the top of the show, we're going to do a raffle, and all the proceeds go to Katey. Justy wants to do some kind of telethon, so I don't know how we're going to work it out, but Justy's coming, and he's got his acting the bollocks shoes on. He's going to be coming in straight from Cork as well, so check that out. We're going to have retro gaming. We announced last night, WWF Royal Rumble for the SNES. We're going to have a tournament that's going to be available to play on the night as well. It's going to be class. We have a new DJ debuting. If you've ever been to Sabotage, of course, the club night on in Fibbers every now and then, we've Daniel Cullen from that, who is going to be DJing, so I'm handing over the wheels of steel. And I think the reason I have to hand it over is because I'm the kind of old-timey DJ now who calls it the wheels of steel. Yeah. So we're gonna hand it over to Dan, see how he gets on. Just add a bit of atmosphere for the night. And to be honest, like, the parties are so mental these days that I need to be able to not be stuck to the DJ booth. So Dan's going to do great. He was in the Lobos band as well for a while, so you might know him from that. And then we have possibly many people's highlight of the Lobos calendar in terms of entertainment, the return of the Pool Rumble. Winner, you could be in a Royal Rumble match on Sunday, and you could win a title shot at WrestleMania. Genuinely be in a Royal Rumble. And if you win, you genuinely get a shot at the belt at a WrestleMania party. It's the Pool Rumble. 30 of you guys picked by raffle come up in order. You have 10 seconds to hit your shot, so there's countdowns galore. If you miss a shot, you're thrown over the top rope. If you hit the shot, you're through, and you take it in turns until there's one man left standing, and they will face Phil Boyd at WrestleMania for the Lobos Pool Championship. So get involved in that. It's a lot of fun. Then we have the pre-show in full, and then we have the Royal Rumble pay-per-view live and in full from midnight. There's going to be no Temple Bar prices on booze. There's going to be food served until around 2 a.m. as well, so you have plenty of time to get some grub into you. It'll be there from 6 as well if you want to come along, get your dinner, line the stomach, and set yourself up for a great night for action, guys. It's going to be amazing. You cannot miss this. You are mental if you miss this night. I know I say stuff like that a lot, and I have to, and it's my job, but this time, it's for real. This is going to be fucking class. I cannot wait. We're going to run through the 2 cards for NXT Phoenix and the Rumble itself, and we're going to give you our picks. Keep in mind we have the Prediction League back for both of these, one on Thursday, one on Friday, starting to facebook.com/#Loblos. Give us your predictions. It's a new league as well for the year, so if you get involved now, you have a chance to actually compete for the league itself. The Rumble in particular, we've loads of bonuses going in. So we'll start with NXT Phoenix first. It's Matt Riddle against Cassius Ohno was added to the card. You know, personally, I'm not going to overthink this. Matt Riddle has this all day. Won at SummerSlam. This is the rematch, obviously. Or won at the SummerSlam TakeOver. This is the rematch, obviously. That only lasted a few seconds. This is where they're going to have their real match. I think it's going to be a great match. I don't see any value in having Ohno win, whereas Matt Riddle, future NXT champion, no doubt, or at least North American champion, they have high hopes for him. Could be the next big star in the business. So I see no benefits to having anything else from Matt Riddle win here.
Yeah, so I think Ohno will be better prepared this time, so I think it'll be a long match. I honestly think this could be fight of the night. I think people are underestimating this. I think it's going to be fight tonight, and I'm going to go with Matt Riddle on this one.
Okay, interesting. NXT tag titles on the line. The Undisputed Era take on the War Raiders. Interesting one. Undisputed Era have held the belts for a long time. War Raiders seem the type of tag team you could build a division around. With NXT as well, you got to ask, when are they getting called up? When are we going to be seeing them on the main roster? We saw Adam Cole in the Royal Rumble last year. Could we see a proper call up, either in the Rumble itself or in on Raw afterwards? Raw certainly needs something in the tag division, so I'm after talking myself into it. War Raiders to win, Undisputed Era to get called up either on Sunday or on Monday after.
Absolutely not. I think I don't want to undermine their achievements, because what the Undisputed Era have done is really cool, but I think they've been pretty lucky to get this far. I feel like they're going to be dethroned soon, especially Roderick Strong. He's definitely going to be dethroned soon. But if there's one team I hate more than Undisputed Era, it's the War Raiders.
Really?
So yeah, they're just a shit Bludgeon Brothers. Do you know what I mean? I think they're like, of all the cool shit in NXT and NXT UK and NXT whatever, they're just not cool at all.
Okay.
They're mad cringe. Look at them coming out with their little face paint. They're awful. I'm not a fan.
Hot takes everywhere from corporate kids.
I'm not a fan. So
Okay,
I'm going to go with Undisputed Era.
Okay, interesting. What a lot of people will look at and say, this has match of the weekend written all over it. North America Championship on the line. Ricochet against Johnny Gargano. And this is another one where you have to look at it where it's like, is someone going to get called up soon? You know, it makes sense after kind of Gargano kind of just fell out of the NXT title picture and never got his big win. It makes sense to give him a win, like he's got this new heel character going. Or is he going to bring the heel character up to the main roster soon? Gargano is someone who could be in the Rumble on Sunday. We don't know. Easily. Ricochet, I see him being on NXT for a bit longer. I don't have the same doubts with him, so I'm leaning towards Ricochet here that you could talk me into any outcome.
So people look at Johnny Gargano as the more well-rounded wrestler, but for me, you know, there's very few wrestlers who can match Ricochet in regards to his aerial ability and his speed and his quickness. And for me, that's what's going to get him the win over Johnny Gargano. I think, you know, that's just his strength and he's going to use it. Okay,
interesting. NXT Women's title on the line. Shayna Baszler defends against Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair, I'm right in saying she's undefeated.
Yeah.
We said that, yeah. Shayna Baszler, obviously one of the most dominant forces in the NXT Women's division. But we've seen her lose before. So, yeah, I see Shayna being someone that is likely to get called up in the Women's Rumble on Sunday. They need someone. It gives them options as well. They've got the horsewomen thing. Or did they have the horsewomen cost Belair her first match? No, I can see the horsewomen getting involved and getting thrown out by the ref. Belair gets a quick win. I'm going to go for Bianca in this. I'm going to go for Shayna to get called up. And some interesting hijinks occur. Because again, you've got Rousey facing Becky and Charlotte. If they're setting all that up, you could see a 6-man tag at either Elimination Chamber or Fastlane happening. Or an 8-man maybe. Setting up to WrestleMania. So, yeah, I'm going to go for Belair to win here and Shayna to go up.
Absolutely not. I think it's important again, like to stay undefeated for that long in NXT, no matter who you are, that's a deadly achievement. But this is where Bianca Belair meets her match. I don't even think the horsewomen need to get involved. I think Shayna Baszler has this 100%. I think she's just a much more dominant force, as you say. And yeah, I'm with Shayna Baszler in this one.
Okay, Tommaso Ciampa against Aleister Black. For me, Aleister needs to go up right now. He needs something. He needs like a shot in the arm, because again, just having him around. The title reign wasn't great. Like, I know that it was kind of cut short by injury. I know Ciampa won it legitimately, but it wasn't great. It didn't feel like, when it happened, I didn't feel ready for it. And then when it ended, I didn't feel ready for it to end. I didn't feel it had gone anywhere. So for me, someone that needs to go up and needs that injection of coolness to like, as soon as he goes up with that team music and the entrance and whatnot on the main roster, he's going to be way over. And it's a whole, as we've seen, for better or for worse, when you go up on the main roster, it's a different story. You're on a different level. You can either succeed, though we've seen like even the hottest successes in NXT, like Nakamura, fail on the main roster, or you can be like Elias and you can just kind of, you know, where I'd put Aleister Black. Obviously he's getting used higher in the card, but like where it's like, alright, you've kind of plateaued a little bit, but on the main roster he could just be an absolute superstar. So I'm going to go for Ciampa to retain via nefarious means here, Aleister Black to get called up.
Well, they're both obviously strikers, and for me, Ciampa has the power, but Aleister Black has the precision. And for me, as people have said in the past, precision beats power. I'm going to go Aleister Black on this one.
He kicks people really accurately in the shins,
really accurately,
exactly where he wants,
Yeah, in the exact spot. Black Mass is a serious finisher. Not just because he hits hard, but because he kicks exactly in the spot that you need to kick to knock someone down.
Right, fair enough. Okay, yeah, well, the Conor McGregor logic, I can't argue with that. Moving on to Sunday, we'll pick the Rumble now. Starting with the pre-show, 205 Live, I haven't been following it, so you're going to have to fill me in on this. Buddy Murphy, Akira Tozawa, Kalisto, and Hideo Itami. I'd love to see Hideo Itami get the win here. I just don't know how likely it is.
I haven't watched it in fucking weeks. I'm going to say, for me, obviously in a Fatal 4-Way, it's a lot less predictable. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously Buddy Murphy doesn't need to be pinned. But for me, Buddy Murphy's on another level to all of these lads. In my opinion, even Hideo Itami, and a lot of people disagree with me on that. But I think in a one-on-one situation, Buddy Murphy beats all of these lads, and it's for that reason I'm going to go Buddy. But again, you just never know in a Fatal 4-Way.
It's a really good match, actually. When I actually think about it, I'm like, wow, all the 40s are really good. I just hope it's not like the Survivor Series match. Do you remember they kind of died in its arse? Just because the crowd went into it, but the match itself was really good. It could be one of them. But if the crowd get into it, this could be good. And you'll have a hot crowd for the Rumble. They're coming to see a Rumble. They're going to be into everything that's happening.
Who would they be cheering for, though?
Yeah, that's true. Akira, I suppose, has the ha thing, or Kalisto has loot. Loot. No. Yeah, there's not much. Yeah, that's true. US title on the line. Also on the pre-show, Rusev defends against Nakamura. I don't really see any reason to put the belt back on Nakamura. I think Rusev is fresh. Personally, what I'd be doing is looking to get it somewhere into the Samoa Joe, Mustafa Ali, Rey Mysterio, Andrade kind of area. That's a hot kind of division that they have there. Unfortunately, the title belt is over with this kind of go nowhere feud. So now these lads are on the cards there. I'd be fine if they were just in the Rumble, to be honest. Whereas you have all these cool lads who are having these matches that I'm really into and they've nothing to fight for. So I'm going to default and say Rusev retains and hope that Samoa Joe takes it off him on SmackDown or something like that. Because that's where the title needs to be. Where do you see this going? Do you see it being a retention, or do you see Nakamura getting his belt back?
He's already proven before that Rusev's size and strength is just too much for Nakamura, and I just see Rusev taking this.
Okay, let's move on to the main card. SmackDown Tag Team titles on the line. The Bar against Miz and Shane McMahon. Which way do I see this going?
It's not difficult.
You think?
It's really not difficult.
Go for it.
There is no makeshift tag team that can compare to the chemistry, the power, the talent. The Bar are genuinely one of the best tag teams in WWE, and for me, easily the Bar. I don't even know what counter argument you could have.
I think the Bar are probably going to win this. There's obviously a big split coming here. I'm just trying to think who splits with who, Miz or Shane. And if they win the tag team titles first, that's the only place where I'm kind of like, sometimes WWE will do that, where they'll have them get their big moments so fans are fully invested, and then they'll have the split happen later in the line. I'm going to pick the Miz and Shane McMahon to win here. I think that's going to happen. Mad. I think that's going to happen. But yeah, I'm going to pick them to get the big win, and then they split up later on, probably give the belts back to the Bar. But yeah, Miz and Shane I'm going to go for. I think this is their big moment. And then they'll do the split later. I think Miz probably turns on Shane. But we shall see. Raw women's title on the line. Ronda Rousey takes on Sasha Banks.
I think Sasha will definitely push Ronda. I don't think Ronda's going to walk over, but she'll have to work for it, but she'll work for it and she'll get it. I don't see Sasha winning this.
I think this is going to be Ronda Rousey's best match on the main roster that she's done so far. Which I know, she had the Mania tag match, but you can't put that all on Rousey. She's probably the least responsible for that. Although the cool part of it was
she beat the shit out of Triple H.
She held her own in the match, yeah. Which is she does deserve credit for it, but realistically, it was her first big televised match. It's not.
And she went for it.
Yeah, and she did. She did really well. She did really well. But I think this is going to be the match where she learns to stand on her own 2 feet and have a really fucking good wrestling match, a really entertaining wrestling match. She's winning all day here. Like, there's no way they're doing a title switch. They're not taking Rosie's streak now. It's just not happening. She's winning all day. But I'm going to, like, this has legs and this could be a great match. Where it gets interesting for me is where we talk about the SmackDown Women's Championship. Becky challenges Asuka. The problem is, now you have to fantasy book. Now you have to get Becky to WrestleMania because Becky's facing Ronda Rousey. But also, Becky is the man. Becky is the hottest thing in pro wrestling right now. You can't ever lose either. So, I don't know. Where I'm looking at it is, I think Becky says, fuck it. I don't care about the SmackDown Tag Team titles. I've got one goal in mind tonight. And she just gets disqualified. Beats the piss out of Asuka. Does a bit of a Charlotte. Do you remember Charlotte attacked Rousey afterwards but got more over because it was so cool and unexpected? I think Becky just does that where she's like, fuck it, I don't care about SmackDown. I've got my eyes set on Ronda Rousey. I've got my eyes set on WrestleMania. And enters the Rumble later on. I think it was Edge that did the same. I think he lost the Intercontinental title, I want to say to Ric Flair on a pay-per-view before. And then I think he lost it deliberately, or he got disqualified or whatever. And then later on he cashed in the Money in the Bank. I think it was the first ever cash in. So that, like, I think it's going to be similar here where Becky ends up just dropping this match, not caring about it, in favour of trying to win the Royal Rumble. Where do you see this going? I think I can guess.
I do see why she wouldn't give a shit about the SmackDown Tag Team titles, but I don't know why she'd beat up Asuka for it.
Shit, did I say tag team?
It's not really Asuka's fault. Like, it's just, okay. Yeah.
The women's side, obviously. Who you got? You got a big one. We get 0 points for...
I'm going to say Asuka, because I feel Asuka is very underestimated in all this, because it's all about Becky, understandably. It's all about Ronda, it's all about even Charlotte. Asuka seems a bit forgotten, despite the fact that she is the champion. Could it be because Becky disqualifies herself? Could it be because Asuka beats her clean? I mean, it doesn't matter. As long as I've got Asuka down in my predictions, it's still a win for Asuka either way. So I'm going to put Asuka down. All
right, fair enough. Interesting. Keen thinking strategically now. WWE Championship on the line. AJ Styles challenges Daniel Bryan for the title. Who have you got in this?
I mean, Daniel's already proven before several times that he's better than AJ Styles, and nothing's changed. He's still better. He's still going to get the win. I don't know why anyone would think this is going to be Styles' night all of a sudden. Daniel Bryan all the way.
I think this is going to be a great match. I think these two are clicking with this feud. Like, with even how ridiculous the kind of heel-face dynamic of it is that we spoke about earlier, I think these two are connected with this feud, and I think they're connected with each other. I think the rematch they had for the belt a few weeks ago on SmackDown was absolutely class as well. So, I think that was the one actually where Daniel Bryan won the belt. It was a class fucking match. So, I think this is going to be awesome. Again, yeah, I agree. I don't see why Daniel Bryan wins here. Oh, Miz is going to fight him at WrestleMania. What? Oh, Miz is a babyface. Oh, Miz is a good guy now.
What are you talking about?
Miz is going to fight Daniel Bryan. I was like, who's going to fight?
Where'd you get that from?
Who's going to fight Daniel Bryan?
But Miz is challenging for the tag team titles. He's in the tag team division. Why would he all of a sudden decide that he's going to face Daniel
Bryan? Right, I'm changing my pick. The Bar are winning the tag team titles.
Well, yeah.
And then Daniel Bryan's winning here. That's Miz Bryan at Mania. That's the way it's going to work.
Alright.
Shame man referee. There you go. Boom. I figured it out. I figured out wrestling.
I hope not. I'd prefer they just use the licensed official. That would be preferable. I don't understand that at all, but okay.
The one we want to talk about. Universal title on the line. Brock Lesnar defends against their own Finn fucking Balor. You speak. I don't.
This is fucking easy.
Right.
So Brock Lesnar was preparing for Braun, right? And again, for anyone else, Braun is a horrible opponent to have to prepare for. You just can't, because there's, the strength difference and all that. But for Brock, Braun is an amazing opponent to be facing, because Braun, I mean, that's like, yeah, okay, he's a bit stronger than Brock, but he can't move like Brock, and he certainly doesn't have the tank that Brock has, in the sense that the longer the match goes on, the more it favours Brock, because Braun just runs out of energy, and then that's it. That's why Brock always beats Braun. But Finn Balor is the exact opposite of that. yeah, on paper there's a huge weight difference. On paper, Brock should be able to squish Balor, but he's not going to. And I think even Brock knows that on the inside. Like, he might look like he's, overestimating Finn, but I think he knows on the inside that Finn definitely has a chance here. And I just think Finn has it. I think Finn wants it more. You know what I mean? And I think his athleticism, I think his heart, I think it'll all pay off. And I think Balor is... And also, if there's the Demon, he did tease on Twitter that he's not going to be the Demon.
He did mention that, yeah. And he is undefeated as the Demon.
But that could be just to psych out Lesnar and Heyman. Maybe he does show up as a Demon. Yeah. Or maybe he'll show up not as a Demon and they'll think, oh fuck, well, we can just squash this lad. And then they don't. And then they're like, oh fuck. Or
just disappears under the ring and comes back as the Demon.
Do you know who I sound like?
I
sound like your video, your man, where it's like, Patrick's athletic, and it's like, you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh, for fuck's sake! All right, doesn't matter. I'll drop it because I'm not explaining. But what you call it? But yeah, and if he does come out as a Demon, the Demon isn't just face paint. It's not just like a makeup. It's not just an appearance. It's a mindset. It's mentality. He taps into the Demon. It's like, like going into a big match. It's like you can only reach for that so many times. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like this is as big a match as he's ever going to get. So I feel like he is going to reach for that and he's going to win it. I don't see it going any other way. It's easy.
I'm sorry, Lawswoods. I love you. I'm picking Brock to win here.
Absolute traitorous cunt.
I'm not. I want Balor to win. I want Balor.
Absolute tan, like.
I want Balor to win. I would love it if he won. But I'm after thinking about everything because I'm trying to put the Mania card together in my head as we're doing our predictions.
Balor Rollins title.
Yeah. Okay. Now, this is Vince McMahon in charge.
So?
Do you think he's going to see Daniel Bryan and The Miz and Balor against Rollins
yes.
as enough to say? No, I don't think he does.
Because Brock will have a match. It doesn't need to be for the title. It's Brock. Brock is the title. And also, like, neither of those things are the main event anyway. The main event's Ronda and Becky, more than likely.
Okay, you're after swaying me a little bit. Because what I was thinking was...
Assuming those wrestlers win and those are the matches that take place.
A Vince McMahon type thing would be Brock Lesnar against The Rock. Because... he's not high up in the betting odds. You know what I mean? He's not like the favourite or anything. So I'm not spoiling anything here for anything. We won't talk about the odds that much.
Yeah, don't talk about betting odds, please.
but The Rock is in the odds, and it's like, oh, did they know something? Is that weird? What's going on? It's again, he's not the favourite. He's not up there. He's not like, like right there where it's like, do you remember that year Randy Orton out of nowhere went to odds-on favourite?
This is why I'm a strict no betting odds rule. Don't even look at them.
So like, I'm like, oh shit, Vince would see Brock against The Rock for the belt as a thing. They both spoke about The Rock spoke about how he wants to do. I presume Brock would like the payday from wrestling The Rock in the main event of WrestleMania. I could absolutely see Vince going with that. But then I think about...
It's not going to be the main event. And it's not...
How does that work for the belt as well?
Exactly, it's not.
Because if The Rock won here, then it'd be weird, it'd be random, it'd come out of nowhere. No one's really asking for it. Though they sometimes do that with The Rock, and then The Rock could kind of have to win at Mania, or Brock could have to win at Mania. Who cares? But if they don't make it for the title, it's like, well, it's harmless. Have your little match, lads. People who are into it will be into it. And Brock against The Rock is fucking cool.
Oh, I want to see that.
That's a cool match.
No, I don't want to see that.
I don't want to see
Eric Rowan already retired The Rock, and I don't need to see him back.
I don't want to see it for the belt, but I do want to see the two of them in there.
It would be entertaining, wouldn't it?
It'd be fucking class, like.
I just want to see The Rock again. I want to see that entrance. Do you know what I mean? Busker's like...
I'm going to go... So I'm going to have to sway myself again there. I'm going to change my pick again. I'm going Balor. I'm going all in. Balor Rollins.
It's not that difficult. Like.
But they want to put Brock against The Rock as the last match with that card.
I think it'll be Ronda Becky.
Ronda Becky, yeah, that'll be the last match. Yeah, of course. So yeah, there we go. Grand. Okay, yeah, it's all sorted. Don't worry, everything's okay. We figured out wrestling. Right now, let's get on to it. The first Royal Rumble, Women's Rumble, we'll discuss first. The rules for this and the bonuses we're doing this year: pick one surprise entrant, pick a final four, and pick a winner. So surprise entrant, I'm going to go for Shayna Baszler. Now we will weigh this based on likelihood. So if you pick fucking, like
Cian,
yeah, someone like, then you'll get a lot of points because it's less likely. But if you pick Shayna Baszler, you get lower points. The same way we do with the winners.
Okay, so Becky would get fuck all points.
No, a surprise entrant is defined as someone who hasn't been on Raw or SmackDown in 6 months.
Oh, so it's not just someone who hasn't been announced.
Or been announced.
Becky hasn't been announced.
Or on Raw and SmackDown.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? Because if they're on the roster, they're not a surprise because there are like spots free. So someone has to fill them. So like someone.
So NXT and Legends.
It can be a call up or legend, or it can be just a comeback or an injury. Yeah.
Oh,
like Eric Rowan could work as a surprise in the men's.
Where did Nikki Bella go?
Nikki Bella, yeah, she could be one.
Oh, I don't want her to be one, so I'm not going to pick her. But like, I'm just asking where she's gone.
She's doing Total Bellas. It is relevant. It's just back on E.
Oh, that's almost that. Oh, that seems like it's going to be one. But I'm not going to predict it. I was thinking Mia Yim or Io Shirai. See, I'd like to see Mia Yim in there, but would it happen? Mia Yim seems really random, but there's 30 slots, and that's a lot for the women. Do you know what I mean? Because I mean, if you include like all the main roster women that'd be in that, plus, I mean, how many spots do you have left?
It's probably like 8 or 9
for NXT.
Yeah.
Oh, so Mia Yim is a gamble, but surely I'll get more points for that than for Io Shirai. Do you think Io Shirai? I think that's really. No,
I'd say Io Shirai is likely. But Mia Yim is like we'll do.
See, I don't want to see like I mean Mia Yim is. It's not one of those things where I'm like, oh, I want to see her that badly. You know what I mean? It's like cool if she's in. If she's not a big deal. Io Shirai seems almost definitely going to be in it for me, so I'm going to go Io Shirai just 'cause I think it's almost definitely going to happen.
Final four,
easy. Becky, Charlotte, Nia Jax, Tamina.
Oh, I like that. Oh, I might.
Why do you like that? That's horrible. Well, that's my prediction.
I might copy that. Like,
I don't copy that. Pick your own.
And the winner,
Becky.
Okay, fair enough.
Last eliminating Nia, just to specify.
Surprise entrant. What I found over the years in doing this is go low with your points. Get any points you can take. If they're likely, take them. So I'm going to go Shayna here. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm not going to go for the 10-pointer. Now, a lot of people...
Who would be your 10-pointer, just for curiosity?
I don't know. I have like Tori Wilson or someone like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, I don't even think
Tori Wilson has been... No, but she was like involved in like... Evolution and stuff, so it's not completely unlikely either.
I see.
So, like, you know, this is
actually,
just about
you know who's a definite, is an absolute fucking lock-in. But I'm still picking Io Shirai. But Toni Storm. Actually, I'll change my opinion. Well, I'll change my pick to Toni Storm. That's a surprise, is it? Toni Storm, that counts?
It'll be a surprise.
Was she advertised as being around for that? Because remember,
if she's not advertised, I don't know. I haven't looked in. I haven't done the prediction league up.
Oh, you see, she's almost definitely going to be in it. And it would be cool to see her. No, I'm going to go Io Shirai. I feel like, because Io, does she have a match? She doesn't have a match on TakeOver now?
No.
Yeah, I'm going to go Io then.
Okay, fair enough.
Sorry for repeating myself. Just Toni Storm's almost.
I'm going to go Shayna for that. Final four. I'm going to take Tamina out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have Becky, Charlotte, Nia, definitely. There's always someone random. This is what I love about the Rumble. There's always someone you're like, what the fuck are they doing there?
Alicia Fox.
Trish Stratus. Just for like,
she's gonna be in it. I don't even think Trish Stratus is gonna be there.
See, she was in a match at Evolution, then she was in a match at Raw. She's well able to go.
Yeah, no, she can. I'm not saying she can't, but I just don't think she will be.
I think she will be. I think like
but if she's
is now a part timer, and I'd say put her in the final four because that random number 4 is to get you thinking, could they do it? Could they? I could see them doing Ronda against Trish.
Also, if she... No.
But not really, but you talk yourself into it during the match. You're just like, could they? Yeah, but like, do you remember the year we all thought Rusev was going to win the Rumble?
No.
We all were convinced?
No.
Do you not remember when Roman Reigns won it and Rusev came back at the end? We're all like, for a split second we were like,
oh, you mean like with Santino and Alberto?
Yeah, do you remember that?
Yeah.
And for a split second we were like, oh, I fucking love that.
I don't remember the Rusev part, but the fucking Santino Morella part I remember lose. I didn't even watch wrestling at that stage. I was like, in the middle of kind of like, your boring early 2010s hiatus that a lot of people took. But when Santino came back and it was like, oh!
I'm not saying you logically talk yourself into the fact that they're going to do Ronda against Trish at WrestleMania.
But
in the heat of the moment, you're like, could they? They couldn't. Fuck it, could they? that's your random 4.
Yeah, that's not a bad pick either.
Winner, I'm going to go Becky as well. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Charlotte.
Do you think Becky won't be in it? Do you think she'll take Carmella's entry?
Yeah, I think that's how it's going to go. But I would not be surprised if it was Charlotte and they held you off with Becky. Because remember what they did with Daniel Bryan, and they didn't have him win the Rumble, and then they added him to the match later.
Do you think? What about my prediction on Twitter? I don't know if any of you saw this, but where I was like, Becky actually beats a R-Truth and enters the men's Rumble, because it would be after Charlotte winning the women's Rumble. Everyone's already pissed. They want Becky, and then it happens. And it will be history.
The man.
It would be history.
It'd be cool. It'd be cool.
You see, thing is, I don't know what stories with intergender wrestling on TV. I don't know if they're allowed to do it. I saw someone say they weren't, but I mean, this is just on their own shit. You know what I mean? This could be a one-off. No, like I don't think any of the men would be like going after Becky or anything like that. Do you know what I mean?
It'd be cool. I don't think they will, but it'd be cool.
You see, I want Rollins batter, so you know,
it'd be too random, but I'd love it at the same time.
I'm just saying it so that if it
does
be
happen, ballsy.
I'm just saying so that if it does happen, I can say, "Ha, I said that."
All right. Let's move on to the men's Rumble. One surprise entrant.
Really, really want to say Jordan Devlin, but I think there'll definitely be a UK person, but it'll probably be a British strong style member. I feel like Devlin, he'd be like his name would be on there, like it'd be like just under. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think he'll be in it, but imagine he is in Busker. Oh, that'd be deadly.
Amazing.
But I'm gonna go with Velveteen Dream.
Yes.
I think it's a safer option, and it's one that would make me almost as happy.
Yeah.
I fucking love Velveteen Dream. My favourite wrestler in NXT, so I'm gonna go with, well, besides Devlin, obviously, I'm gonna go with Velveteen Dream.
I was gonna go with Velveteen as well. Yeah, because he's not an NXT takeover. Yeah, and he's ready. He's there.
Oh, it's gonna be so good.
At least for a surprise entrant, you can have him on NXT again. Like,
it's not a call up necessarily.
For a random spot, yeah, absolutely. Final four. This is difficult.
Oh my god, no! I fucking forget it. I had a final four and I forget it. Well, Rollins is obviously one.
You think Rollins is winning anyway? There you go. All right, so you can work backwards.
Oh my god, who the fuck did I have in this? I had Rollins. Oh, that's who it was. I had Rollins, McIntyre.
Yeah.
I think it was Samoa Joe and Mustafa Ali.
Mustafa Ali is a great random fourth.
Yeah.
He is a great random fourth.
Because, I mean, that's an achievement alone for him. Do you know what I mean? To be in the top four. Like, after the year he's had, that's just...
I like that. I like that a lot.
But don't take
I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to take it.
Me from now on. This is bullshit.
No, I'm going to take Drew McIntyre. I do agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's kind of... Because he doesn't have... I initially had Lashley, and I was like, well, Lashley has a title.
Yeah.
I wouldn't rule him out of the top four, but I feel like... I just think McIntyre, there's more in it for him.
They've built McIntyre, and having him be there is like, it gives him something, even if he doesn't win.
I think he would probably come second or third. No, third.
You're looking at SmackDown, right? I love your picks. I'm not going to pick the same though. I'm going to go Rey Mysterio.
That was someone I thought
they did because they even did. I was there. Like, do you remember even when they did the Greatest Royal Rumble and Jericho was in it for a long time and stuff like that? Like, and it's like. They like to do that with legends. I've got Mysterio. Or was Mysterio in the Final Four last year?
Was he? No, he wasn't. That's actually one of the few Final Fours I remember off by heart. It was Balor and Nakamura on one side, and Rey and Cena on the other.
That was awesome.
They did the whole WWE versus Japan, all the smart side.
It was fucking awesome.
Oh man!
All right, I'm gonna go for Rey Mysterio then, randomly, and then I'm looking up the odds. I'm not gonna lie.
Don't.
No, I'm not going to say. I'm just trying to remind myself who's in the match and who's involved.
Just look at the Wikipedia page of the roster.
I'm going to change it. Not Mysterio. Andrade.
That's who I was thinking of him as well.
Random fourth. And Strowman. Because they're going to make a big deal out of his elimination.
Yeah.
It's going to be like Strowman's clearly going to win. Like, how are they going to get this guy out? You can have Rollins and McIntyre briefly team up to take him out or whatever. That's my four.
Actually.
I'm gonna go for Rollins winning too.
Should I put Braun in instead of Joe?
See, I could absolutely see Braun being like number 4 and then getting eliminated early, like 10 people team up on him. You know what I mean? I could see that happening.
I'm gonna keep Joe in. You see, my thing is, I want people to like cheer when Rollins wins, so I don't want to be people that people love. Do you know what I mean? And I also want to be happy, so I don't want to see Lashley get eliminated like second last. I'm like, I'll be kind of no, fuck that. Rollins battle will be so good.
Yeah, it'd be class.
But then if Lesnar wins, then this kind of fucks the match up on me. Like,
it's a lot. Like,
there's so much to the show. I'm so excited. Like,
this is why the Rumble is the best prediction contest, the best pay-per-view, the best party. Guys, check it out on Sunday in Buskers. Guys, an announcement really quick before we get on to our main event about the Patreon, patreon.com/#LowBlows, because it's actually an anniversary quietly here on Low Blows. It's a year since we've come back. A year of Corporate Keen on Low Blows. Congratulations. Yeah, because you joined when we came back.
Nice. Hello. Hello.
So happy anniversary. No, that's not what you say, anniversaries.
Well, what do you say then?
Happy anniversary.
Alright. Happy anniversary seems so fake and forced. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, there's a lot of syllables in that.
It's a year since we started the Patreon. And look, when we started out, what we did was we tried to kind of replicate the second captain's model, where basically we offer like this show would be free, and then we have the exclusive content for sponsors. I thought it was great at the time. It was a risk that we knew we were taking, and we knew that it could just as soon not work that well. And I'll put my hands up and say that maybe it may be failings on my part, but it hasn't worked the way we hoped. And the reason is because we wanted to, like I said, when we took Low Blows off the air 2 years ago, it was basically at the stage because I was like getting towards my 30s at the time. I was 29, I was going on 30, and I was like, look, to put the amount of time and energy that I do into Low Blows, I need to be able to justify it. I need to be able to... It's not like I do this for money, because I would gladly do it for free, as you will see in a second when we get to the announcements. But at the same time, I when I'm doing this, I'm not doing other things that I need to pay my bills. I'm taking time off work to do this. I'm a 31-year-old man who lives by himself.
31?
Yes.
You're so old.
I'm so old.
I was 8 in 2007. How does that make you feel?
And I have bills to pay, and like I have a house to take care of and stuff like that, and I have a life to plan and stuff like that. So what we did was we're like, if we can give people a lot of content for a small amount of money, then I think that's fair. It's a contribution. Unfortunately, I think the way it got taken up was that like we were kind of keeping stuff from people like at some stage. I don't know. I don't think people were familiar with second captains and kind of what we were doing, and that's probably a failure on my part, and I'll be the first person to admit it. So what we're going to do is, we've had the Patreon going for a year, and it's got a fair amount of sign-ups, and I appreciate everyone who has signed up, but at the same time, it's at the stage where it's like, we're making a lot of great content. We produce 6 shows now in total at Low Blows, and I feel bad having the premium content go out to pretty much little to no listeners, because these people are working their asses off for it. So what we're going to do is, we're not shutting down the Patreon or anything like that, but what I want to do is, we're going to change how we do things with the Patreon. You may have noticed this week that we had a new Talk Nerdy to me, and the one with the podcast, and I can exclusively reveal John Kelly just this morning. He's agreed he's going to do it full time from now on, and a great addition to the show, a real shot in the arm for the show. So it's great. We'll have Paddy's New Yacht and Ask Low Blows this week, and the Spandex Pantomime will be back next week. So we've put all of them up on Spotify. We're going to continue to do that. So what we're going to do is, we're going to at the same time, I'm going to just put out the content for free. I'm going to give the shows the audience that they deserve, because we do actually have a good audience for the Spanto and Low Blows on Spotify. We have a good following. So I'm going to give I'm basically just going to give you the shows. We're going to keep the Patreon up and running. Now, the reality of this is that this, in business terms, could be just suicide, because... but at the same time, if the Patreon is making no money at the same time, then it doesn't make a difference. So we may as well have the content go out there, because the sad reality is that I can't do this forever for nothing. It's going to come to a time where I have to look at my life. But we will keep doing this as long as we can for you, and putting it out for free. But what we would appreciate is that you could donate whatever it is. Now, this is the thing. We will continue to do the deal for people who donate X amount. We'll figure all that out next week after the Royal Rumble. If you donate X amount, you get into the parties for free. We'll continue to do that. But we're not going to keep the premium content paywalled anymore. So it's just all out there for free. It's going up on Spotify, iTunes, Patreon. If you're subscribed to the Patreon, you don't have to change anything. It will continue as normal. We hope that the people who are signed up, at least most of them, will keep their subscription just out of goodwill and support what we do, because otherwise the alternative is eventually zero content, which is shit, but it's reality, and it's fine if it is. I'm okay with that, but it's where we're at. I don't want to have the people that are doing work on ideas that I'm supporting and I believe in and I think are great shows. and have them go out to no audience. So we're going to put them out for free. We hope that you will donate whatever it is you can. You don't have to donate now. If you can afford €2 a month, that helps. Like, €2 a month helps, like, would help, like, keep everything going and keep everything happy and keep everything running for as long as you can. So get on to patreon.com/globlos if you can. Whatever you can spare, sign up, and we're asking for donations now at this stage. And so there you have it. Everything is going up for free, all of our content. And we have great shows, so I'm sure you'll enjoy them. If you enjoy them, though, guys, remember that work from not just me, from all of our team, from Cian, from Katey, from Jerry, from Justy, from Nathan, from John, from Amy, from Kento, from Dave, Cullen, like, all of us are working our asses off behind the scenes to produce this. So €2, €3, €4, €5. If you're subscribing €8 and you're like, that works for me, I'm fine, it doesn't give me a dent, that's great. Like we'd appreciate if you could continue doing that. Like, we're okay to take whatever donation you want to give, but there's no pressure on any of it. Whatever you want, guys. If you want to get it all for free, that's fine. But if it goes one day, that's just life. So there we are, guys. That's what's going on, just so you know, when you see it all up on Spotify for free. The Patreon still running as normal. Anyway, guys, time to get on to our main event. We do not have a Queen versus Cian this week, but what we've done is we have wheeled in possibly an even greater rival to Corporate Cian than Katey Harvey. Life itself. We've done this on the show before. We do it on Ask Low Blows a lot. But Corporate Cian versus life. You struggle with basic everyday tasks.
Yeah.
Give a quick example, like, so people know what you're talking about before you get into your latest Corporate Cian versus life story.
I wasn't prepared for that question. So, like, I can't think of an example off the top of my head.
So stuff that you'd struggle with on a daily basis, like
existing,
being
in a place where there's other people, and you assume that everybody's looking at you, but nobody's even aware of your existence. But you just assume that people are like, oh, look at that person standing over there, and then I start to sweat and get nervous and leave. I'm not looking for odds. I think
we can all relate to that. No, because I'm saying that because I relate. I do the exact same thing. Yeah, there you go. Don't awe me. But no, we all relate to that, and we've all been there. So this is why people love this segment. So what's been going on? What's your challenge been this week?
Sleeping.
Okay.
I've struggled with sleep because I was in college a week ago, and I was talking to this girl in college who's a Brit, and I mean a lot of that's.
I haven't slept since.
I'm just gonna throw it in there. Just say this is an Irish person that's doing this, because if it was, I would sell them to the Brits or just do because this is bad, right? I can't even remember how the conversation went, but long story short, she dips her bread in water and eats it.
Oh, that's very British.
Is it?
I don't know.
Is that what they do? Does anyone do? Even British don't do that, surely.
I don't know.
No one does that. Who does that? Anyway, the point is, it kept me up at night and I can't deal with it. Also, apparently she has ketchup sandwiches as well.
Ew.
Yeah. That actually cost about 5 people to get up and walk off. Shit you not. Oh man. Nothing against it personally except that 'cause it's vile, sorry.
This is the same country you bring in Yorkshire puddings with fucking shit in them. They build it with it. It's like, what are you doing? Just put gravy in it like a normal person. And they're like, no, this is the way you eat it. Or they have bangers of mash. They have sausages but with potatoes and peas and stuff like that. And it's like, no, what are you doing? Just have fucking beans like a human. So it doesn't surprise me. The fucking Brits.
It hurts. It just hurts to even think of
Guys, that's Corporate Cian versus life. We're going to keep taping anyway. We will be back for Ask Low Blows later in the week, like I said, on Spotify, Patreon and iTunes. So check that out for free. But until then, we will see you hopefully in Buskers on Sunday for the Royal Rumble. Get well soon, Katey. Recovering at home. But until next week, for Corporate Cian, I've been Rick Nash, and that's the bottom line. Because Lobo said so.